expectations, those things that we just expect people to do, especially our children. And I've been doing a series on expectations. We've looked at sitting still and at sharing and those things. Well, today I want to continue with that and look at an expectation that sort of is very close to my heart for a number of different reasons. And that is the expectation of giving hugs and kisses, that personal space thing. Hi, and welcome to Learning Life, and thank you so much for joining me today as we continue to look at expectations, those things that we're putting on our kids. Well, hey, if you like these videos, why not give us a thumbs up, subscribe, drop me a line and say hello. Hey, ring that bell to get notified because I love to share these videos with you, and I hope that they are bringing you some value and that you can share them with others. Well, expectations. Today, I want to look at that expectation of hugs and kisses. Why do we insist on having children do what it is that we don't want to do? And I think about that. I think we've all had experiences when we have been told that we absolutely 100% have to go and give a hug and a kiss to Great Aunt Beryl Sue. No, I don't want to. But we do it, even though it just doesn't make us feel right. And I've heard of children being called mean or disrespectful or rude because they didn't want to give her a hug or a kiss. I'm like, you know what? They might be tired. They might be more of an introvert, and maybe they just don't want to. And that's totally okay. They shouldn't have to. Hugs and kisses should happen because you want to give them, not because you have to. And that is for family members. That's immediate family too. I think it's really important that we are teaching our children about their bodies and how they can show respect and all of that to their bodies and other people. Now, we have two very affectionate little girls. They love to give hugs and kisses, often so much to the point that I'm like, I don't really want you to. Do you really know them? But I don't want them to feel that there's anything wrong for wanting to give hugs. When they were younger, especially, we've had lots of conversations, but, we've traveled internationally to go and visit family members, or, we're just meeting other people in other states. And it'd be like, you know what, if you don't want to give a hug or a kiss, you don't have to. And so coming back to values, in our family, we're really trying to teach the girls as one of our core family values is that your body is your own. You are in control of you. You are in charge of you. But you need to wear clothes in the front yard. Because you know what? They are totally in control of their body. But you know what? The neighbors do not need to see all of it. We have two very free birds. They are not ashamed of their body at all. And I think that is great. But we don't want them to ever feel that they have to give a hug or a kiss, even though they are very affectionate. They love to give cuddles and to snuggle. And one of them definitely, physical touch, is her love language. And so we're having to teach her how to receive it appropriately and how to give it appropriately. And that's just one thing that we do in our family. We also are trying to teach them to treat others with respect. And there are ways that we can do that. We don't have to give hugs and kisses. We can, in fact, give a handshake or a fist pump or a high five, even just a wave, because those are genuine ways to acknowledge somebody without having to sort of get right into personal space. Because not everybody wants to give a hug or a kiss. Not everybody wants to receive them either. Do we really want our children to feel, well, I have to do this and I'm going to do it even though I don't want to? And what if that just becomes a really yucky, awkward, icky situation? And as they grow up, they just always feel, well, I just have to. And they're not treating their bodies right. That is a major concern for me. I'm trying to get into the habit of even asking them, hey, can I give you a hug? Because that, I think, is important as they get older. I want them to understand, as much as I just want to squish them all the time because I love them to bits, I'm having to show them that I respect their personal space and I'm not going to get up in their personal space. So let's look at the role of grandparents, because I know that this is hard. It is so good to have family members around, and grandparents, of course, I'm just saying, if they're not toxic. I know that not all family members are okay to be around, but if we have some really good family members, it is so good to be around them and to have that love and that connection. But we don't want them really to have the expectation that our kids should just automatically give hugs and kisses. Again, maybe it is a generational difference. I'm not really sure. Maybe it is a cultural thing. But, I don't want my children to. I don't think that children should have to give these things. Like my husband, he didn't really like getting all those kisses from his grandmother all the time. She's French. She loves to give kisses, and he shouldn't have to give them or even receive them. We shouldn't make our children give their grandparents or their aunts or their uncles or the great aunts, whatever, hugs and kisses. I just don't think we should, even close friends, if they don't want to. And I think we've reached this stage where we sort of need to be training our grandparents and the extended family of, we don't expect our children to give hugs and kisses. Maybe we need to be training our grandparents, training those extended family members to ask, can I give a hug? I totally appreciated my sister-in-law doing that when we were in Australia. Yes, my girls had met her, but 3 years prior, and she knelt down and, I could tell she wanted to give a hug, and absolutely. And of course, my girls, they're huggers, but she took the time to get down to their level and ask, can I give you a hug? And to me, that was wonderful. And of course, it opened the floodgates. And then, of course, they're on her lap and reading stories. But it gave that connection, and there was permission given for her to be able to enter their space and for them to be able to enter hers. And I think that that's what we need to get to. Can I give you a hug? Now, I had somebody, we were having this conversation about like hugs and kisses and do we and don't we and stuff like that. And she's like, well, isn't it a violation of social norms if we're not having our children give their grandparents hugs and kisses? And I'm like, what? Okay, let's unpack this a little bit more. And so looking at it, because I'm like, different cultures have different norms. And what are social norms anyhow? I mean, I think of them as things like how we act in the classroom and how we act at the movie theater, like not rustling chicken packets, and how we talk on the phone or dining out. Like those are things like social norms. So do we lump having to give hugs and kisses and sort of like in a way having our personal space being taken away, lump that into as a social norm? I don't think so. I think it is a value, but I think it's even better that we value our children and their bodies and the way that they are learning to use them. Yes, when they're babies, we're all up in their personal space. We really are. We have to be. Okay. But they are growing up and they're going to learn. And this is what we want, right? That our children become well-meaning, strong, functioning adults. And honestly, I want my girls to have control over their own bodies, to make good decisions about their bodies, to respect themselves, to respect their bodies, and expect respect from other people about their bodies. And I want this because I don't think that I should be controlling them for 18 years and be like, nope, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, oh, happy birthday, you're 18, you're an adult, now off you go, make good choices. We can't do that. We need to be teaching our children how to control their bodies. And that's even in moments of anger or around other people, how to make good decisions for our bodies, like in our health, but also with personal space. Do we need to allow everybody into this personal space? Do we allow everybody to be giving us hugs and kisses and touches? Like, no, we need to be teaching our children that so that they can make those decisions and expect respect as well. It is okay. It is okay to draw that line in the sand and say, this is my respect line and you respect me. And so I don't want to be offensive to grandparents and aunts and uncles and family members and even good friends that just, want these hugs and kisses. I get that. I do too. But let's look at the children. This to me is so, so, so important. And this is why I really feel like that we need to let go of this expectation that, well, that's my grandchild or this is so-and-so, they need to give me hugs and kisses. I have to let that go of my own children. I can't just expect them to do something when they don't want to, because as a grown-up, if I don't want to, I don't have to. And I want them to have that same respect. I want to treat them like a person, not just this child who was there that one day will be a person. Well, thank you so much for watching. As I've been looking at these expectations, this is a subject close to my heart, and I would love to continue the conversation with you. So drop me a comment and let's get talking about this. And if you like these videos, maybe you could join us as a champion through Patreon. I invite you, just come along, be a part of our community, join the ride, and check out learningthis.life.